Okay, Communities for Future is a lot broader than it's supporting community-led action, meaning let's do it, permaculture, eco-villages, it can be oasis. There's so many movements all around Europe that are starting from the people, and these movements are often neglected and not recognized, and they really needed the support. You definitely know about Wikipedia. I don't think there's anybody in the world who doesn't know about Wikipedia. And Wikipedia is a very general library that is a knowledge commons. If you don't know what a knowledge commons is, it's like an encyclopedia or a library that's created, curated, edited, administrated by the users themselves. So it's not top-down. It doesn't have any editorial. So this is, as an example, an entry about Let's Do It World, as it was done some time ago. Let me check. At the bottom, normally you have, it was last edited on 8th of December 2020. And you can read it on your own if you want to see, is it accurate, is it not, how much does it reflect the work we've done. So this is something which, in a program that I'm part of, which is called Communities for Future, we're trying to do a library of all the community-led action on climate change and sustainability in, okay, Ram is leaving, thank you. So all the knowledge about community-led action on climate change and sustainability in Europe. We're not excluding global, but we are more focusing on Europe. And we would like to compile all this knowledge to increase our impact. We're working with policymakers, with European Commission, and so on. So our focus is not so much waste, it's not farming, it's not all the other topics that you normally talk about. Our focus is community-led. So it's starting from bottom up. It's us who are doing it, who are understanding, who are understanding the need for it, who are trying to make an impact. So inside this library, inside this platform, there is a wiki. So wiki is the word that's used in Wikipedia, and we are using this platform to create our library. We call it Communities for Future Wiki. And inside this wiki, you can see like Zero Waste and Let's Do It World. So when you click on Let's Do It World, you will find a little bit different entry with much more data. And here you can find also the links to different countries. So what we've created basically is for any kind of movement, any kind of organization, they can have a platform here where they can put their data, make it visible. For now, we have a short entry about Romania and a bit longer entry about Slovenia, which tells the story about those countries. And what we're trying to make available for the movement is an infrastructure to have all the data, all the stories in one place. And it can make our work much easier. In the organization I work for, it is called Mobilize. I can type it later, which is holding Communities for Future platform. We really, really want to have as much data as possible in European legislation, so we can have data to present to the governments, to industry, and so we can have a good leverage point for changes in the future. So what we are creating alongside this library is also trainings for the people who would like to contribute to such a library. And because this is knowledge commons, you can contribute with your own expertise, with your own topics that you're interested in. So let's say here on the starting page, you can see movements and networks of community-led initiatives. And if you click on it, you can find some like theoretical explanation, and then later on you can find key movements and networks of networks. And we are listing them starting with our members. While waste is towards the end, zero waste and let's do it World Cleanup Day. So basically, zero waste and let's do it are here mostly because I'm passionate about them. So I'm really pushing. So we have some entries there, but I would really need your support and your help so we can have good data in this library. So through your support, that's the only way to do it. People think, why? We need action. We don't need to have all this information there. It takes a lot of time. Why would we even do it? And here I again say, you don't need to do it. You just pick up a phone, call a professor, call an academic, let students know we have the need for research projects in this field, and they will do the work for you. We've seen young people interested in this topic, and they would be very happy to do the work. You just need to reach them. And then we can have very good entries, and all the information then will be available for our work in the future. I've seen how much help our final report brought to so many countries around the world. So I would like to have this library as a living document. So it's not something that you print and it stays like that forever. This is something that's changing, that develops through years. There is a bit of hindrance or an obstacle with it being in English, but however, this is not necessary. You can do it also in your own language and use it for your own purposes in your own country. So if you're interested to contribute, to participate, you can let me know. You can write to me at my oopsie, what's happening? Sorry. I have to write to everyone. That's it. So if you write to me, I can let you know when we have our educational programs and what the technicalities of contribution to this thing are. And then like the infrastructure is there, the support is there. We are financed through projects, which is awesome. So I would feel it's a waste if we don't make use of this kind of opportunity. So this is one of the tools that we're using. And then we have another tool. Oops, where am I now? I have to go here. This other tool is Zotero library. And Zotero library is a how to put it? Yeah, it's a library with many, where we can make collections of knowledge, and then like put different documents in there. So far we have 1,500 different items. There's some let's do it stuff. For example, I've added just this recently added document by, oops, what's going on? Here it is. So I can click on the link. Sorry, it doesn't work the same like in, I don't know if you see it now even. No, you don't. Sorry. Yeah. So this is a recent article in Romanian about Let's Do It Romania in 2010. So imagine you have all the data about World Cleanup in one place. So you can see what's happening in Romania, what's happening in Germany, in Cambodia, it can be global, of course. I said we are focusing on Europe, but the infrastructure is the same and it can be used for the whole planet. And then with this, we can influence people by them understanding how huge our efforts are from bottom up as community action. So wiki Communities for Future Wiki, including the knowledge about Let's Do It, is the most visible and public way of people seeing what's going on. And then we have the other part, which is Zotero Library. That's the scientific data, articles, studies, journals, theses, you name it. You can have their books, and you use this Zotero library to link it, because more credible. So basically, that's what we've designed. That's the idea, and what we would like to have is more contributors from Let's Do It. So if you would be willing to contribute, Virginie is thinking about Wikipedia. Yeah. So in the long run, our vision is to connect with Wikipedia. So we are creating a more focused information, and if there is a broader information somewhere else, like Wikipedia, then we want to keep it there. Of course, we're not competing. We are just complementing what's there and adding more information from community-led perspective. So that's the idea. Maybe for the Wikipedia article, these things will be too broad and not interesting. But from our perspective of community-led action, to inspire other people to be a resource of how to do it on their own, then that's what we are trying to facilitate in this library. We took communities from future from the, what's her name? Greta Thunberg, Fridays for Future. So we thought, yeah, we are basically community-led groups. So that's our main website. And then the library, I will just paste to you the entry about World Cleanup Day, which is a work in progress. That's the idea of Wiki. You don't need to have the article peer-reviewed and finalized to perfection. You just keep it alive. And if anybody comes and says, this is wrong, you have to correct it. You say, yay, thank you, you're correcting my article. I'm so happy. So you're not taking it critically, but instead you're glad to see corrections coming up. So we have templates or outlines for the articles, so you can just paste them in. And if you paste the outline, like we have here in Slovenia, there is overview, the purpose, the history, scope of it, membership, and so on. So you can use the same list of titles and then enter your data in there to make it easier for you. For example, you can do it on your own, but this makes it easier. And also you get, as a part of the template, you get this thing on the right, with all the information. How is it called? Info box. Yeah, the info box is a part of the article as well. You mentioned stories, Heidi. Yes, so we would like to feature more stories from Let's Do It also inside on the website. We featured Let's Do It Kosovo. That was one of the first articles we featured there. And we are, of course, interested in more.
Yes.
Yes, yeah. Virginie.